So this is chapters 13 and 14 of We the Living, of our second section. So chapter 13 begins with describing Petrograd's climate in the summer. It's extremely uncomfortable, which allows the audience to imagine that this chapter is going to set up an uncomfortable event, or it's going to set up an unfortunate circumstance, maybe in this chapter or perhaps next. In a way to combat this, Kira and Leo try to get away to the country. They hold hands, they go on strolls, and they relax and enjoy each other's company. When they return to the city, however, they are bombarded with Soviet propaganda. The Soviets are getting stronger and are making it more difficult for them to be able to go to the country. So now if they want to go to the country, they have to show their labor books, they have to pay a tax, and they need a permit. So this is also a metaphor for the party, keeping them from their happiness or their ideal future. In the next scene, we learn that Galina Petrovna has decided to get a job, which, because it's in Soviet Russia, means that it was a Soviet job and that she's finally accepting Soviet ideals. So the job that she got, she was teaching sewing in a school for workers' children, so she was educating the future Soviets. Alexander sleeps most of the day because he does not want to accept the Soviet ideals. Kira and Leo go to visit them occasionally, and Galina tells them that they should get married and that she's very excited to educate the masses and educate the future Soviets. There's also a short scene that talks about the changing seasons and how Leo says that they need to stay strong, especially with everything that's going on around them, that the Soviets are getting stronger and impacting their way of life. This sets up the next scene where a member of the party tells Leo that they can no longer have 3 rooms in their house because of the overcrowding issue, so they have to give up one of the rooms in their house to a member of the party, so that they won't have to be homeless and so that they could serve their community. Their new tenant is an elderly man, and he promises not to be much trouble, so Leo and Kira kind of dismiss it, and they're like, okay, whatever, he can live here. And Dre has not seen Kira because he has been on a mission for the party, and so Kira begins to worry, and when they see each other again, he talks about the villages being hostile, and Kira's really surprised, but because Andre is a communist and she's actually worrying about his future, and she thinks that the villagers should treat him more nicely, so she's shocked at her reaction to what he's told her about the mission. The party members tell Leo that he is now the cultural chief at his job, and they want him to give free language classes. So this new position that he got doesn't really provide him with any more advantages or any more pay. They want him to do it for free, so he gets very angry and he refuses to do it. He says that why should he, because the party's never really helped him. He comes home to Kira taking care of him, and she tells him that everything will be okay. The next several scenes, and there's quite a few, depict Leo trying to get a job at different places, but he's being denied because he's not a party member and he doesn't have any, he's not a part of a union. They also include Kira making financial decisions with her income because, unlike Leo, she does have a job, and this creates tension between Leo and Kira because Leo believes, since he is the man of the household, that he should be providing for her, not the other way around. So Leo starts getting really sad because he isn't able to provide for Kira, and Kira begins to work even harder at her job. Leo keeps getting rejected from jobs, and to make things worse, the rent for them goes up because they aren't Soviet employees. So because they're not Soviet employees and not a part of the party, they have to pay a separate tax, which increases their cost of living, which is ridiculous because they can't make enough to support themselves since they can't get a job because they're not party members. And they can't become party members even if they wanted to because they don't have a job. A man on the street sees what's happening, and when they're told that they're going to be taxed for not being party members, the man kind of just looks over and he walks away. And this kind of reminded me of a saying of what happened in Nazi Germany, that they came for the Jews, and I